Hey everyone, what's going on? Jeff here from Films at Home, and today we're going to review the latest horror smash hit from Paramount Pictures to come to 4K. Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to the channel today for this review. In this video, we're going to be checking out Smile on 4K. This comes out on December 13th from Paramount Pictures, and they were cool enough to send me an early 4K copy to review for you guys. So we're going to dive into the video quality here. We'll talk about the audio as well, packaging, and special features, and ultimately just give you a recommendation on whether or not this one's worth picking up for your collection, because there is no upgrade, it's brand new. So I'm just going to give you a full recommendation, including my thoughts on the movie itself. So on the movie itself, I did not get a chance to see Smile in theaters. I don't get out to the theaters much nowadays, needing babysitters and all of that fun stuff. But I was excited to see that this, movie, which has an interesting story behind it distribution-wise, was able to do huge numbers, over $200 million at the global box office on a $17 million budget, which is why I love horror movies, and I don't know why we don't make them all the time, because they literally print money. But it has an interesting story because director Parker Finn first came up with this concept for his short called Laura Hasn't Slept, and that premiered at South by Southwest in 2020. Somebody from Paramount saw it, gave him money to go make a feature, and it was actually going to head directly to Paramount Plus. But when they screened it for audiences, it did so well that they gave it a wide theatrical release, and they had some of the most fun marketing this movie that I've seen recently. If you saw some of the sports events like the MLB playoffs and some football games, I think they had like actors sitting behind home plate with the smiles on the whole time. Like, they did a really cool job marketing it, and this movie just blew up. But after watching it, I'll say there's a good reason it blew up, and that's because this movie is by far one of the scariest movies I've seen recently. And as a horror movie aficionado who watches this stuff all the time, not a lot gets under my skin anymore. It's really hard to scare me, and I'm always sort of chasing that high of being scared again. And I can say with pretty full honesty that I haven't had a movie get under my skin like this so much since I watched Hereditary in 2018. So Smile is just really, really well done, well crafted. It has good performances. It has terrifying moments. It has jump scares galore, but not cheesy jump scares. Really, really good, creepy jump scares. So if that's not your type of horror, this one's gonna mess with you. But it also dives deep into mental health and trauma. And, it's a really heavy movie with also some incredible special effects and some really gory moments. So it kind of takes everything that I love about horror and slides it into one movie. And I absolutely loved this. I loved it so much that I went and watched the short film that inspired it, because I just wanted to see more of this universe. And, without any spoilers here, I'll say the ending definitely left room for a sequel. And I'm not always a fan of sequels and extending movies too far, but in this case, I think there's plenty more to explore in this world and the mythology of Smile, and I hope Parker Finn gets a chance to expand on his story, because he's an up-and-coming director to watch. So visually, Smile was shot at 6.5K, which is great that even these, lower budget movies are getting more access to higher res cameras. They're getting cheaper, they're getting more available. Awesome. But it was finished at a 4K digital intermediate, which is pretty consistent with what Hollywood's been doing lately, and that means you do get a true 4K picture here on the 4K disc. Now, it's not going to look like a Top Gun Maverick or Gemini Man. Like, it's not going to be that technologically advanced or look that good, but I would say that this is, a very good looking disc. And you can clearly see where you would get some benefit here being true 4K over just buying a Blu-ray disc. If I was to buy this and I had to make the choice between the two formats, being that they're only going to be a few dollars apart for probably the next few years, go out and buy the 4K disc. It makes perfect sense. It's a true 4K picture. Plus, the HDR really helps this movie, especially because it does have some dark moments. There's a lot of kind of shadow action happening. There's a very dark sequence at the end of the movie. There are some very good jump scares in the beginning of the movie where we play with shadows and darkness. And I think that all looks a lot better on 4K with HDR than what 1080p Blu-ray and SDR can give you. So I would definitely recommend the 4K visuals. Now, for the audio, this is one part of Smile that really impressed me because it does have a Dolby Atmos track, and I wasn't sure what to expect, right? It's a horror movie. It's obviously, it's not a Top Gun Maverick. It's not Black Hawk Down. It's not Saving Private Ryan. We're not going to have stuff flying everywhere. But when you don't have a ton of effects like that, what you can do is use the Atmos and use a sound mix really cleverly to build tension and build the scares. And I'm going to shout the guy out who did the score on this. The music was Cristobal Tapia de Veer. His score and the sound design on this movie was excellent. I mean, this guy is one to watch because the sound really sucks you in here, and it elevates those jump scares. It elevates all the tense moments. It elevates every part of this movie. And the Atmos track, especially with some of the whispering in the shadows and the calling of names and other rooms where you can't see people and all of that sort of creepy stuff that's going on throughout this movie, works so much better with an advanced audio track like Atmos. So I give huge credit to everyone who worked on the score and the sound mixing and sound editing for this release, because this was some of the coolest horror movie music that I've heard. This reminded me of like what a John Carpenter could have done. You know, it was really, really well done. And so I think you guys are going to enjoy the Atmos track. Dialogue sounded great, and really all those sort of supernatural, creepy elements that were going on throughout the movie are just so elevated with Atmos. It was one of my favorite, I would say, creative uses of Dolby Atmos, where it's not just all about, hey, let's bang as many effects as we can around the screen. This sound mix really built an environment that scared me. Now, the packaging here has the pretty standard theatrical cover art. You've got the smiling girl in the front who's one of the college students in the movie. You do get 4K, but no Blu-ray, only a digital code. So if you did need the Blu-ray disc, that's something to consider. You're not getting that anymore in these combo packs for whatever reason. And then it does have a Rotten Tomatoes sticker, and it has another sticker that says it includes the original short film, which I don't mind. Rotten Tomatoes I could do without, but the cool thing is it's a glossy slipcover. It's just a sticker. You could peel that off if you want to. Just be careful you don't ruin the cover. Now on the inside, like I said, same artwork there, and then pretty simple one disc case with just the movie, no artwork on the disc, and you do get that 4K digital code as well. Now for the special features, you do get that original movie, the short film that inspired this, Laura Hasn't Slept, which also has incredible tension and an awesome jump scare. It's a really good thing to watch after you watch Smile, because you obviously see the influences, and it has the same actress who plays the college girl at the beginning, who's on the cover here. She's in the short film, and it's a great short film. So I definitely recommend watching that. It's also available on YouTube, but it has a commentary by the director, which is super cool. It has Something Wrong with Rose, a little featurette about making the movie. Flies on the Wall, which breaks down the score, which, like I said, was incredible. So I would definitely watch that. And then it's got some deleted scenes with optional commentaries by the director as well, which nothing too crazy there, but it adds a little bit more to the movie. So overall, I highly, highly recommend this movie. If you're a horror fan, you're going to love this. 2022 has been just amazing for horror movies, especially indie stuff between, Smile and Barbarian and Terrifier 2 just blowing up the box office on that budget. Horror movies are just printing money, and honestly, I think they're the thing keeping movie theaters alive right now. It's horror, and it's, Marvel, really, at this point. That's what people are going to the movies for. So Smile was a ton of fun. It scared me. It had me thinking well after the movie ended. I had a hard time going to sleep that night. Like, it really stuck with you. It deals with some heavy themes, and it's a really well done movie. And the 4K visuals were just excellent. And that Atmos track is just one of the coolest audio tracks that I've experienced lately. And I definitely would recommend that. Even if you get the 7.1, where it downscales it if you don't have Atmos technology, it's just such a cool sound mix that it's definitely worth checking out on disc. And skip the Paramount Plus stream. You're going to get a much, much better experience experience here on the 4K disc than you will on Paramount Plus. So that's it for the review. I really enjoyed this movie, so I hope you guys pick it up. And if you do want to grab it, I'll put a link to the 4K version on Amazon. If you use that Amazon link, that helps support my channel, so I do appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel here so you never miss a review video, a podcast, whatever, and make sure you follow me on social media as well. All the links are in the description, as well as links where I have different partners, discount codes, ways you can save yourself some money and support me passively at the same time. So check all those out, but have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, stay healthy out there, and I will talk to you all soon.